Following the science is like saying, well, today I'm going to saddle up my unicorn and go for a ride on my flying unicorn. It's something you can say, but you can't do it. You can't do it because there's no unicorn that flies. Likewise, you have no access to science. You don't. When you talk about science, did you do the study? Were you there? No. The only thing you have is that somebody wrote up what happened when you weren't there, and then somebody else read what somebody else wrote about something, and then they interpreted it and put their spin on what that means, and then you heard it, and then your brain interpreted it again, probably wrong. You are so many levels away from science. Is that like 3 entire levels away from science? So to say that you follow the science is a lot like saying you ride a flying unicorn. You can't. All you can do is listen to what people who read something written by scientists said, who don't know how to interpret it necessarily, who don't know if those scientists were paid, who don't know if that study was going to be repeatable and something that lives or something that dies. What percentage confidence should you put on a new study that says, let's say tomorrow a new study comes out and real scientists review it, it's peer reviewed, it's in a publication, and it says that eating mashed potatoes will protect you from coronavirus. Now, it doesn't matter what it says, just say there's a new study. What percentage odds would you put on the new study that it ends up being true? It takes more studies and you have to repeat it. It takes a long time to know if something's true. But if you hear the first study, mashed potatoes helps you cure coronavirus, what percentage confidence should you put on that? 0. 0. If you don't know that you should put 0 confidence on that, and you think you're following science, you're not. Because if you put more than 0 confidence on that, you don't understand science. Now, here's the best way to look at a new study that makes a claim. The most productive way to look at it is that study has entered into the set of possible explanations a new possibility. So if a study says something's true according to the study, your interpretation as a citizen should be, that's one more thing that could be true. It's now in the set of things you should consider. But the odds of it being true are just small, right? That's the way new studies work. You should put very low confidence in them. Now, unfortunately, if those studies agree with what you want to be true, like every time I see a vitamin D study that suggests it's going to help with coronavirus, I want to believe that because I'd said early on that I thought it would be true. So since it agrees with what I want to be true, I'm going to believe those studies. But then you look into them a little bit, and the vitamin D that they're talking about is not the kind you can buy over the counter. It's not even the kind you can get from being in the sun. It's like some special, activated kind of vitamin D. I don't even understand the details, which is my point. What could be easier than this question? Science says vitamin D helps against coronavirus. You could understand that, right? Did a bunch of studies. We found that the vitamin D is low in people who die from coronavirus on average. Therefore, what? We can't even interpret that correctly because most of the people would say, oh, you just proved that taking more vitamin D will help with my coronavirus. And nothing like that happened. Here's what was proven. There's a correlation, but you don't know which way it goes. It could be that people are sickly in general, have low vitamin D. So of course they're the ones dying. It could be that the people were saved by vitamin D, in the studies where they gave them vitamin D once they had symptoms, and you can see that this group didn't progress to get sick. And then you say, great, I'll go to the store, I'll buy some vitamin D, I'll go in the sun, and I'll be good. But you have misinterpreted what they meant by vitamin D, because that's not the vitamin D you can buy. It's the activated stuff. Now, is what I'm saying true? When I say that the studies say it's regular, that when they mention vitamin D, they don't mean the kind you can buy over the counter. It's like the special hospital version of activated vitamin D, whatever that is. Is anything I said now true? How the hell would you know? How would you know? Am I a scientist? Did I do a study on vitamin D? What you should believe about anything I just said about vitamin D is zero. Zero credibility. That's what you should put on what I just said. The only thing you should take away from it is, let's put vitamin D into the set of things which might be important. That's about it. That's about all you can say. You can't say it works. You can't say that taking vitamin D will help you. You can't say any of those things. And if you thought that you acquired any sense of certainty by listening to me, I hope you didn't, because you shouldn't.